Okay, new recording. All right, so again, fair training number one. This is going to be the second part, which is what we call the past customer script. Couple things. Again, pre-framing this approach. My goal is to like help you understand the simplicity of the past customer approach and what like the goal and what the intention is around it. Um, I wish there was new customer approaches at the fair. It's just they're so hard to come by now. So many people have Cutco or have bought from us at Costco. Um, so it really is like a needle in a haystack now to get a new customer approach. But when they do come, right, those are like our biggest orders at the fair. So that's why it's still important to review it and talk about it and master it, right? You want to be that person where when you get a new customer, you're stoked because you know this is like your opportunity to sell an ultimate or like a family set or a package deal or a Cutco kitchen. So for me, I'm searching hard every single day for new customers. The reality is 75 to 80% of your interactions will be past customers. Knowing that, this is by far the most important approach to master. And I think that the top reps in our team are the best at the past customer approach because they understand that most interactions are Cutco owners. And so now the question becomes, okay, cool. If 80% of my interactions are Cutco owners, how do I build value in bigger bundles and packages so my average order is high with past customers, right? Because we already know with new customers, your average order will be higher than normal. But with past customers, the key is how do I avoid piece orders? That's like your number one mission is avoid piece orders, like the plague. Okay. You got to train yourself to be really good about piquing people's interest in programs. My philosophy is what can I share with the customer that's 1,000 CPO or more? That's always my mentality with Cutco owners. What can I share with them that they don't have that's 1,000 CPO or more? So when you break down the programs that we offer now, right, an ultimate upgrade or an upgrade in general, it's over $1,000. Flatware, it's over $1,000. Cookware, it's over $1,000. Accessory package, over $1,000. Family program, it's pretty easy to get over $1,000. So it's training your customer to look at those versus picking out a cheese knife or scissors or a paring knife or a buy two get one, right? Like our old philosophy used to be, hey, oh yeah, if you're a Cutco owner, we do buy two get one, right? We were so bad about presenting deals for Cutco owners in the past. My goal is to provide you guys like the best script possible where you have the confidence that every Cutco owner that comes up, you have a shot at selling over $1,000. Okay. So to begin, I do want to share that I have a very consistent concept that I follow when I meet a Cutco owner. Cutco owner walks up. Hey, have you guys heard of us before? Oh, you have it? Awesome. Show me what you have. Immediately, my goal is to figure out what they have. Is it a set in a block with steak knives? Is it just a variety of tools? I want to figure out quickly what they have. And then I want to ask them a few simple questions to see how I can serve them best. So once I know what they have, I say, hey, how long have you guys had them for? 10 years? High five. That's amazing. Out of curiosity, how did you guys get introduced to Petco? The reason why I love asking that is I want to know if they bought from their kid that was selling it 10 years ago. I want to know if they bought it from Costco. I want to know if they bought it from a rep on my team that's going to be an ROR order, right? There's just so many things to like figure out very quickly, again, to see how to serve them best. The last question is, when's the last time you had service? right? Just remember, guys, we want to have a service first mentality when it comes to Cutco owners. We want them to have a great experience at the fair with us, but also feel taken care of. That's like the number one goal. And I hope you guys do that with anyone's customers, right? Not just yours. So like that's how we need to treat people. That should initially prompt where to go from here, right? If they didn't have service and they need service, you got to give them their options. My favorite approach when it comes to service is the shipping label approach for an upgrade program. So a lot of my Cutco owners like approaches start with this now naturally because I'm actually seeking out service. And I'm going to give you guys that script. But I still want to highlight a couple of things. If they don't need service, let's say they just bought a Costco like 6 months ago. Or let's say they're your past customer and they just bought at the fair last year. So service isn't really needed. Okay. Now where do you go? What do you do? Number one thing after you've taken care of those questions and service, build value in the fair and why we're here. Number one thing, because you'll get a lot of people that are coming just to say hi, just to say how much they love their Cutco that they bought from you, but they not have any intentions to look at anything. You know, for me, I've been doing this for 18 years. So I get so many customers that come just to say hi. Got your postcard. Want to say hi to you, right? How do you get all those people to stop in their tracks? And how are we piquing their interest to like look at deals? And that's this is why you want to talk about why we're here. We say, hey, Mrs. Jones, I'm so glad you came here at the fair. I did want to share with you guys that hey, this is our largest event we do all year long in San Diego. Matter of fact, people wait all year long just to come see us to add to their collection because it's the best deals of the year. We're also trying to break a fair record. And I'm personally going after my mission of blah, 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 right? You talk about your mission, your goal, plus the fair goal. Every order counts. So I'm going out of my way to do extra like bonus gifts and incentives for all my customers that stop by to take a look. So that's kind of like the number one thing I want you guys to like work on is what's your version of that promotion, right? What's your mission that you're going to share? How are you going to tie that into like why we're here at the fair and our best deals? Okay, keep it short, but like you just want to make sure you're mentioning that. That's what mentally gets customer to be like, oh, I just came to say hi. To like, oh, maybe I should look at something. And then this is where the approach really starts, in my opinion, is our power intro for the past customer. You say, Mrs. Jones, I want to quickly review what Cutco has to offer and all the different programs that people are looking at the fair this year. Just remember, we have this concept called the Cutco Kitchen, and all my customers are eventually working towards it. Some people do it faster than others, but I wanted to show you what it involves. Right now, you guys have the family set. So you have a good start on the knives, but obviously there's room to add and upgrade to something called our complete set, right? And all you're missing are these pieces right here, which are like our barbecue knives, fillet knives, etc. Once you're done with the knives, though, most people shift their focus to our pots and pans and our flatware. Just to share this with you, Mrs. Jones, more than ever right now, we're getting more requests for our pots and pans. And the reason why is people are familiar with how bad Teflon and how bad nonstick is. So people are getting rid of all that and they're converting back to either cast iron or stainless. I love cast iron. It's just not practical to have a set of them because they're so high maintenance and they're so heavy. So stainless is really the answer for most people. And if you haven't heard about our cookware is 5 layers of stainless, which makes it professional grade. but we also use the highest grade of stainless that you can possibly cook on. It doesn't leak out toxins. It doesn't bend or warp. It's dishwasher safe and it's easy to clean. Even though it's our most expensive thing we make as a company, it's by far the most important investment you can make in the kitchen after the knives. Now, the flatware is actually the largest corporate discount out of everything you see here at the fair. So a lot of my customers that have the pans and have the knives, this is what they're coming for this year. And why is it worth it? Well, it's actually designed for everyday use. A lot of people initially think it's just for special occasions. But we make our flatware with 1810 stainless, which is the highest quality you can buy for forks and spoons. Unlike silver, there's like no maintenance. So it doesn't tarnish, it's dishwasher safe, no need to polish. So it'll look like this forever. The last thing people look at to complete their Cutco kitchen is our accessory package. So let's say you already have the knives, the cookware, and the flatware. This package is what I call like the clean out your kitchen drawer package. We meet so many people that have just years and years of like hodgepodge, mix and match, rusted, broken utensils and gadgets that just take up all their kitchen drawer space. So the idea with our accessory package, Mrs. Jones, is we want to help you replace all that with American-made quality tools that are also guaranteed forever, so you never have to buy kitchen accessories ever again. So it's a really good way to like clean out all the old stuff and replace it with quality once and forever. And then once you have what we call the Cutco kitchen, most of my customers shift their focus to buying gifts. We have a family program that's really popular at the fair. And the idea is we want to incentivize our customers to do more gifts for friends, family, employees, clients, and whatever occasion you can think of, whether it's like birthdays, Christmas, weddings, anniversaries, housewarming gifts, you name it. So here's my question for you, Mrs. Jones. Like I said, if there was ever a time to like add to your collection, it's here at the fair this year. And because of all the like deals that we have to offer, if there was ever a time to like consider anything, this is where, this is where I would do it. So my question for you is, based on what I shared with you, when you looked at your like journey with your Cutco kitchen, what do you feel like would be the next priority? Would it be upgrading your knives, cookware, flatware, or accessories? What do you feel like you'd be most excited to add next? And then at that point, whatever they tell you, run with it, right? What's really important about this power intro, guys, is you want to essentially give the customer the opportunity to see what's next for them because they not might even know what we have to offer. You'd be surprised on how many people that come up to us that think we just sell knives, right? So maybe they think they're good on knives and they had no intention to come buy from you, but now you just spent a few minutes highlighting all of our programs. And now you intrigue them with the cookware and they didn't know we had cookware. Or maybe you intrigue them with the flatware and they've never seen our flatware before. Or maybe they're good on all that. They just didn't know we had an accessory package that was very appealing. So the idea is you want to do your customers the best service and you want to kind of lay it all out there for them. But then you want to figure out what their priority is, right? You don't want to sell them what you want them to buy. You want to ask and see what would get them excited. What would be their priority to add to their kitchen, and then just focus on that. Okay, everyone's going to be different. But for me, I like to just hone in really quickly on what would be next for them, and then just focus on that one program. If you can sense that there's multiple things, even better, right? So let's say a customer is like, honestly, Matt, cookware and flatware. Well, my initial response is awesome. We actually have a Cutco kitchen completion package for customers just like you who have the knives, but now they want to actually upgrade to the flatware and the cookware to complete their kitchens. So let me tell you about the flatware first, or let me tell you about the cookware first. Then I'll tell you about the flatware, and then I'll show you what that completion package looks like. Boom. Then you go into it. Okay. If someone says, "Oh, Matt, I think I just want to upgrade the knives," perfect. You mind if I tell you about how our upgrade program works based on the set you currently have? Transition questions. Okay. Hey, Matt, honestly, I'm good on knives. I don't need any flatware. My cookware, I actually bought, Americraft over here 5 years ago. Um, so I think I'm good on stuff for myself. Awesome. Well, hey, because we have that family program and we have extra incentives for customers to do Cutco as gifts for family and friends, my honest question is like, if you had to buy Cutco for someone this year, who comes to mind? And then you just transition to trying to get gifts, right? And a lot of people that come see me that are good buying for themselves, I'm pretty good about getting them on a family program to buy gifts because, guys, June is close enough to Christmas where people are thinking gifts. Don't think it's too early. Like people buy gifts very early now, and the fair is the time of year to knock out Christmas gifts. So don't worry if someone isn't looking for themselves, shift the focus to gifts. Then obviously, if it's a business gift opportunity, even better, right? The last thing I'll say is like, what if you can't get anyone on programs, which happens all the time? Hey Matt, like I'm not really interested in doing any of that. Like if I did anything today, it would be like a cheese knife. So where do you go from there, right? So if you can't get a program for someone to focus on, my next like goal is how do I get someone on the 5-piece bundle every single time? So at this point, now you're just gonna try to collect a wish list. Okay, Mrs. Jones, why don't we do this? If you're not like really interested in one of the programs, our best deal we have at the fair for Kaka owners is what we call a 5-piece custom set or a 5-piece companion set. We essentially pick out any 5 items, whether it's for you or as a gift, and we'll put together the best fair deal versus buying it a la carte. I would love to show you what that would look like. And if you can make it work, great. If not, no worries. We can always do a piece or two. But just entertain me while we're here. If you had to pick 5 items, what comes to mind? Let me know if I can help you or recommend anything. And then at that point, you're just getting someone to like slowly pick out 5 items versus just the one or two that they initially thought, right? Hey, could you use an extra pair of scissors? Awesome. Hey, have you seen these new mini vegetable knives? Oh, you would love those. Okay. So you're just like helping them find 5 items. Okay. And one thing I want to share with you guys is if you want to increase your average order dramatically at the fair, it's this scenario with past customers. It's avoiding the replacement table knife, avoiding the replacement paring knife. It's avoiding that one cheese knife for their daughter, right? How do you get someone to go from a piece or two to a 5-piece bundle every single time? And I promise that if you are very intentional about this, watch how successful your conversion rate is when you actually have the right approach, when you have like a confident script in it. TC, I know this is something that was like very powerful for you last year. I remember you saying like many times to me, like this was like the needle mover for you. Can you just describe or like share with the team, like, I guess, what clicked for you and what worked really well for you with this specific process?
I was following the guide that you actually gave this talk last year, and I remember going to an event and listening to the talk before. And when people came by, asking for one knife, I always remember it was up to like a hard sell for them, and I never really was interested in selling it anyways because it's one knife. But then telling them like, yeah, just so you guys know, like most people try to avoid that because that's the most expensive way to buy Cutco's a la carte, and then like they just automatically like, yeah, I know. And then I just told them like exactly word for word, like, would you be open to checking out our smallest bundle deal with the has our top salads with the one knife you're already looking at. So I just got them really open to that, and then they just turned those orders to 5-piece specials, and it was just working. So I still get small orders, but I think when you say it that way, it just opens up people to want to see a package and get a deal and get their knife. So then you're just closing more 5-piece orders, and in that same message you say they add up fast, and it does. You know, you get 5 orders, that's like 3K, and that's you turn like a $500 day into 3K day just by doing that. So yeah, it was a big thing for me last year.
And by the way, I'm gonna review this entire like approach of this specific thing, like how to convert pieces to 5 pieces in the next training, right? So you guys will have like word for word what I say, and I'll give different scenarios too. But just for the past customer approach, just remember that that's like the minimum, right? If you can't get someone to like look and listen to a program, um, and let's say they're just kind of like telling you about a piece or two, that's our standard as a fair team is, hey, you're more than welcome to buy a la carte. It's just the most expensive way to buy from us at the fair. Most people we talk to are able to do like our smallest bundle, which is a 5-piece companion set. And it already includes that one item you're looking for. Just for fun though, like, do you mind if I just show you what that 5-piece bundle would look like? And if you can make it work, great. If not, no worries. We can always do the 1 or 2 pieces. Um, but let's say for fun, like just entertain me. Like if you had to pick out a couple more items, whether it's for you or a gift, like what comes to mind? And if I can make some recommendations, here, boom, 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 boom. So it's just like getting people open-minded about it. And again, if you can get 90% of your customers to go from pieces to a 5-piece bundle, oh my God, it adds up so quickly. In one day, right? 5-piece orders versus 5-piece orders is a huge difference. And then think about over the course of a week, and then over the course of the entire fair, it makes a significant difference. So, let me see if I have any more thought processes before we go to questions. I think the only other thing I want to share, guys, is when it comes to Cutco owners, when it comes to your actual past customers, you need to have this pleasantly persistent attitude to look. That's really what it comes down to is you can't expect customers to be ready to buy or ready to know what they want when they come see you at the fair. It's your job to inform them of what's possible. And I think the more open you are and the more committed you are to actually talking about programs and emotionally detach yourself from what the result's going to be, you will be successful. If you work next to me at all at the fair, you will hear me pitch flatware, cookware, and upgrades all day long. But I probably convert 10% of them, if that, right? I remember like one day at the fair, I was striking out big time on flatware. I went like 0 for 10. But then like
Mm.
the next three, I converted back to back to back. And so the lesson is you're never going to sell it if you don't talk about it. So how can you actually talk about it to everyone? And how can you just make it a numbers game? If I told you that over the course of the fair, you're going to pitch the cookware 100 times and close 25 sets, but you just don't know which 100 interactions those are going to be, how committed would you be to those 100 interactions and doing it every single time, right? Knowing you'll sell 25 cookware sets at the fair. So the idea is you never want to wait for the interested party. You want to be the person that creates the interest. And that's kind of my mission at the fair is whatever customer I get, I'm always seeking out what my next opportunity with that individual is. What are they missing? What don't they have? What can I get them excited about? And if you guys remember when I had my 20K day, it was my first 20K day ever at the fair last year. Thank God, finally. Um, but I had three Cutco kitchen completion packages in one day. Two of them came from people that don't want to look at anything. One of them specifically was a customer that only had an ultimate set. They came just to say hi. They got my postcard. And then again, I did the same approach I just shared with you, right? Remember what they have, ask about service, and then build value in the fair and my mission. That's what got them to like stick around just to kind of look and hear. And so whenever I asked them, hey, between the flatware, the cookware, and the accessories, like what would honestly be the next thing on your priority list if you did anything today? They said flatware. So I did, cool. Can I kind of tell you about the flatware and why the flatware is like the number one deal we have at the fair right now? Boom. Flatware approach. These people walked on me after doing a turbo incentive, and they came back 4 hours later to tell me no. I'll never forget this. It was the customer I took a picture with and posted like my 20K day. But at this point, I was at like 18 grand for the day. And I was like, guys, towards the end of the day, they came back, they said no. I was like, what do we got to do? Like what would I honestly get you to buy it today? Like what would feel like a win for you guys? And I had to do like an extra turbo incentive that it was still doable, but it was like it was a crazy deal, right? It was something I was committed to doing to like get a yes. What's crazy is when I got the credit card, I remember in this moment thinking, hey, this doesn't get me over 20. Like the TPO was maybe $1,000. You know what I mean? I did like serving set free plus other stuff. So mentally, I was so committed to the 20. I knew where I was, right? I was like, oh, this isn't it. Like this is not a 20K day. So instead of being complacent that they came back, said no, and then I converted the yes, I was like, I gotta find a way to add to this order. So guess what I did? I said, hey guys, now that you're getting the flatware, all you're missing is the pots and pans. I said, what's your pots and pans like at home? And the husband's like, honestly, man, we've been using the same stuff since we got married. Like it's working, but could we use a new set? Like probably. And so at that moment, I was like, all right, that's my in. I said, hey, you're already here. Do you guys mind if I just share with you why the cookware would be worth the investment down the road? He goes, sure, go ahead. Full cookware pitch, 100% commitment. And in this moment, I wasn't attached if they bought it or not. I was just committed to the effort, right? I see the interest building. I'm like, oh, wait, there's some traction. There's some traction getting here. Customer at the end gets so excited about it. He goes, all right, Matt, we'll come back next year and we're buying this. This looks like good stuff. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, all right, I'm going, I'm going all in on this like package deal right now. So I was like, hey, listen, that's totally fine. I know you guys are going out of your way to get the flatware. And by the way, like it helps out so much towards my goal. But I did want to share something with you. And then that's where I shared my 20K mission actually was like that moment. And I shared how close I was. And I said, hey, listen, if you have to 100% wait till next year, no worries. But I wanted to throw it out there that I'm so close to my goal. Like if I went out of my way just to do something like crazy and you felt really good about getting it today, and it's something that you could make work and that's comfortable in the budget, like are you at all open to entertaining it? And long story short, I got him to, you know, get it. And I remember at that moment, I was like, you know what? I wonder how much CPO we miss at the fair every year because we're just not willing to share what's next, or we're not persistent enough to do a deal and build urgency and why they should do it today, right? And I remember thinking like, dude, they came back to say no to something and I turned it into an 8K order because it was like full cookware. And then I got them to do the completion package. So we got all the other accessories that were missing too. And it ended up being one of my biggest orders at the fair from someone that literally came back to say no. So long story short, it's like with your Cutco customers, you have to be pleasantly persistent and you have to be able to like be okay with the no's. But the idea is how do you get them just to hear about the program that you're sharing? And if you can get 100% of the people that come to see you to look at one program minimum, you will sell a lot of Cutco this year at the fair. That was my big lesson I learned 2 years ago. Is I realized how many of my past customers were coming to say hi because they got my marketing. But I was just like, oh, hi guys, like thanks for coming. And they didn't need anything, and I just let them walk. Like I didn't keep them there. I didn't like question them to like look at what's next. I didn't like be aggressive enough about sharing my goals. And I let hundreds of people across the entire fair come say hi and not look at anything. So last year, that was like one of my biggest commitments was, hey, if a Cutco customer of mine comes to say hi, I have to share something with them. I have to, right? And luckily this year we'll have like the purple products, which will be helpful. Because we'll at least get to show something that like glues them to the booth real quick. But that's what I want to share with you guys is whether it's your past customer or a Cutco owner, just be willing and committed to sharing like what's next for them, right? What's the program they can look forward to next? And attempt to do a deal on it every single time. Before I open up the questions, I wanted to review the shipping label approach because I think this will be the bread and butter for past customer interactions. And I think based on my experience, like most people that come up to the booth that own Cutco will probably want or need service. Okay. So the way the shipping label approach works is someone comes up. I'm just gonna use the example of someone that comes up needing service. Okay. Hey, excuse me, we have Cutco, we love it. We've had it for 20 years. How do I get my knife sharpened? Oh, awesome. I'm glad you have for 20 years. How'd you get started with this? Perfect. Okay, cool. Well, here's your options when it comes to sharpening. There's three main options. Number one, do you guys remember the warranty that Cutco has? Exactly. Yeah, it's a forever warranty. So you can actually mail them back to the factory in New York at any time. They factory sharpen it or replace it for free. You do have to pay for shipping there and back, and it does take about 3 to 4 weeks. The second option is our local service event. What part of town do you guys live in? Oh, Chula Vista? Perfect. We actually do a Chula Vista sharpening event multiple times a year. If you want, I can take your information today and I can let you know when we're going to be doing that event in your area and we can get you taken care of. The way it works, you bring in all your knives, we sharpen what we can on the spot, and then we can help you mail in anything that needs to go to the factory. The last option, though, is actually the number one option that people take advantage of at the fair. It's actually called our upgrade program. And you'd actually be the perfect candidate for it because you've had this basic set for probably what you said, 20 years? Oh, yeah. So the way the upgrade program works, most people that we talk to started with the smaller set like you did. And then once they realize like how awesome the quality is and how much they love it, people always want to add our new top sellers to their collection. They just don't want to buy like a whole new set and duplicate all the knives they've already invested in 20 years ago. So as a solution to be more like cost efficient for our Cutco customers, at the fair, we do something called the upgrade program, where we get you the fair deal on our complete set, which includes all of our new top sellers. But we actually subtract the retail price of everything you currently own from the cost. So all we do is we send you the knives you're missing, the bigger block, and a few more steak knives at the absolute best price. Now, the best part is once we ship you the upgrade package, you can use the box and the Bubba wrap to pack up all of your existing knives. I'll personally email you a free shipping label. You just take it to a local UPS, send it back to the factory on my dollar, and in 3 to 4 weeks, Cutco will literally send you brand new knives. So it's essentially getting our complete set at a fraction of the price. Just for fun, do you mind if I show you how that would look and how that would work for you guys? So that's the approach. What you're doing there, though, is you're highlighting our options for sharpening, but you're almost getting people just interested in seeing how the upgrade program works. And I probably would say 96% of the time, people want to see how it works. They don't always go for it, but they actually want to see how it works and what the cost would be. Very rarely do I get someone that's like, no, we'll just take advantage of sending them back. So the idea is you're piquing people's interest in seeing how the upgrade program works. And it's so attractive, guys, when you do it. Like, I'm pretty sure all of you guys have done this before or are actively doing it. But oh my gosh, it is literally my bread and butter now. I sell upgrade programs every single event I do multiple times. It's just such a clean, simple way to service your clients through the factory and get them a good deal on a bigger set. It really is. Like logically, as a customer, it just is so awesome to be able to get factory service, which is always the best, anyways, especially for people that have had it for like 10 plus years, and then add to their collection. So I want to make sure that this is the standard that we're utilizing at our fair. Um, is the shipping label approach when it comes to people that need service. And then again, worst case scenario, guys, let's say you share the upgrade program and they don't go for it. But let's say they buy something, right? Next training, I'll talk about how to drop down from an upgrade to like a 5-piece bundle or like an 11-piece package. But you still want to get those people signed up for your service events. So that's always the drawback is if they don't go for the upgrade, cool. You can still get a good lead to add your service events. Okay. The only time I like get someone to sign up, not sign up, to like send it back to Cutco is if they're like hard no one looking at stuff. Maybe they're an older couple, they just don't cook anymore. They've had their knives for 20 plus years. I know I can't do anything to help them anyways. Those are the people where I'm like, hey guys, here's all the instructions. Like, go on the website, send it back, and you'll be taken care of. So it doesn't happen often, but there's definitely scenarios where I'm pushing people just to mail it in, especially if they're not open to like a local event or they're not open to the upgrade program. Okay. So that's all I have for the past customer approach. Any questions? We got like 15 minutes if you want to do some questions, but any questions in regards to anything when it comes to the past customer approach?
So I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
Um, so when you're talking about like, hey, this is why you buy here, there's the package pricing and stuff like that. How would you frame it for like price checkers or people that you think are price checkers? Like comparing online, they're like, well, this is the same price online. What do you do to build value and like this is why you should buy from me today at the fair if the price is the same?
Is this for just pieces?
Uh, yeah, pieces or like an upgrade or like a flatware set or stuff like that. Because I've had customers where like I had a customer that was interested in the flatware and I
Mm.
gave him a little bit better deal on it. And he price checked while I was there after I got the credit card. And I was like, hey, I can do that price, but you're not going to get the 6-piece accessory set.
Mm.
right? And so like I'm like, you're basically getting the six-piece accessory set half off by doing it with me, right? And so what's something that you would do in that scenario to kind of make the customer feel good about still making that purchase or just making the purchase with you that day? Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like at the fair is probably where you get the most price checkers. So that's a good question, you know. And if you can tell they're like experienced with buying online or looking at Cutco online, or let's say they talk about how they see you at Costco all the time. Those are the people where I'm always making sure I'm doing a deal and I'm never gonna do like full retail, right? Because I just have a sense that those are people that will check online. And so, one of the things that you could just be doing to kind of like save yourself is any program or any package that you're introducing. One of the things I like to do at the fair is as like a closing question. If I don't really know if they're going to go for it or not, I'll say something like, "Hey guys, just for fun, like, do you want to see what like the extra incentive would be if you were to get it at the fair today?" And that's kind of like a good way to test someone. Like, yeah, sure. Like, what can you do for me if I bought it today? And then obviously you can do something to make them feel good about getting it there, right? So that way, after you do that and you write up the order, like you did something better than online. Like you should never really at the fair be talking about deals and incentives and literally selling them full retail. It just doesn't make sense, right? Like that would never happen with me. I would never build up the deals that we have, the incentives that we're doing, and then all of a sudden like sell a customer full retail because I know that people will go home and look anyways. So you're always doing something. You're always trying to do something. But I get that even if you did some free stuff, people just might have this weird gut feeling when they see the same price. And so one of the things that we talk about when we're showing the deals at the fair is you can't say, "Hey, this is our fair special." I say, "Hey, this is our corporate discount at the moment that we're offering at the fair." So the words you use and the way you say it also does matter, right? You're never gonna say something like, "Hey, this is a price you can only get while you're here at the fair." You're not saying that. You know what I mean? Because then you're really like lying to people at that moment. So always say, "Hey, so here's the retail price. Here's the corporate discount that we're offering here at the fair." And then, by the way, if someone mentions online, which happens, right? "Hey, is this the same price online or is this better?" Hey, full transparency, Cutco sets the pricing, not me. So occasionally you can definitely go online and find something similar. You'll never find it cheaper online than you do here. But one of the benefits about being here is you have access to do the no interest payments only while we're here, right? Because that's true. You can only do 5 monthly payments at the fair. You can't do it online. So that's okay to say that. Plus, we do extra incentives just for our clients that buy at the fair. Just for fun, do you want to see what that incentive would be if you were to buy this today? Boom. Is that helpful?
Yeah, yeah, thank you. I think it was just like changing my verbiage
Yeah, for sure.
just to that corporate discount language comparatively. So yeah, that was very helpful. Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions? Power intro, um, shipping label approach, anything that comes with past customers at all?
Did you say you were going to send out your shipping label approach, like the script for it?
No, I just did it. I don't really actually have it scripted.
I think I have it scripted. I was just asking for everybody in general.
Yeah, no, I don't have it scripted, but I said I wanted to do it so you guys have it on the recording.
So you're going through that whole approach, the past customer approach with every single past customer.
Yeah. So obviously some people are quicker to like letting you know like what will be next. But if someone's just open, like, "Hey, yeah, what do you guys offer? Like, what should I look at?" I'm going through all of that because I want to see what my opportunity level is with these people. And so, if you guys know, like, I sell Cutco kitchen completion packages pretty consistently. Um, It's essentially my version of the Cutco kitchen for past customers. And the only way to do that is to go through this approach and see their interest level and everything. The people that are going for the completion packages are the people that are like very receptive to like the cookware and the flatware, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could see ourselves getting this eventually. Like our cookware sucks, our flatware sucks. And if I'm getting that type of response, I'm like, hey, we actually do have this very popular bundle called the Cutco Kitchen Completion Package. It's for customers like you that have our knife set, but once they realize the quality, the warranty applies to everything, it's the idea of like getting everything being one and done and never have to buy kitchen stuff ever again. The reality, guys, is we just keep going up price every single year. So the longer you wait to get Cutco, the more it's going to cost in the long run. Just for fun, like, can I show you what the Cutco Kitchen completion package includes and what it would cost? Obviously, if you like it, great. If not, we can always just look at like flatware or cookware separately. And then it's like, boom, go into it, right? But like someone wouldn't really know about that if you weren't talking about all the programs, you know? The other reason why I talk about all the programs is there's been so many scenarios where I say, hey, here's the shipping label approach for the upgrade. No, we don't want to look at that. Oh, okay. Well, hey, by the way, after the knives, most people shift their focus to cookware and flatware. Oh no, like our cookware, we got Kitchen Craft years ago. We love it. Flat, no, we got silver. You know, we're still using our silver. Like we don't want to add any more flatware. And I'm like, okay, well, the last thing to complete your kitchen's our accessory package. And oh no, like we don't need all those guys. Like, it's just like nose, nose, nose. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, if you don't need anything for yourself, our number one program at the fair is our family program, which incentivizes customers to buy more gifts for family, friends, coworkers, employees, client. Wait, really? How does that work? Oh, do you own a business? Yeah, we own a plumbing company. Oh my God, I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, check this out. See all these engraved gifts? Boom. Now there's traction, right? So it's like, what are you doing to inform customers of all the options? And how do you not like get discouraged from just that first couple no's of looking at stuff? And then worst case, someone says no to every program you offer. You know, okay, cool. Like, hey, just for fun, since you're here and we have like a record that we're trying to go for, and it's the best deals of the year. Um, let's say you had to get like a few items. If you had to make a wish list, what are a couple things that you see that come to mind that you'd be open to adding? Oh yeah, that veggie knife. I can use a peeler. And then boom, you just start collecting your pieces to do like a 5-piece bundle. So,
Awesome. What would you say to someone who like I feel like you know, and I see this with other reps too, and I know I'm not the only one, but probably the only one willing to admit it, that sometimes we can like just assume that customers can't afford the bigger packages. And so maybe we don't give our all, maybe we kind of skim some parts, but it's because it's our own like personal projection that like I don't want to waste my time.
Mhm.
You probably can't, you know. So what would you like need us to know about that to just like because we really don't know how much money people have, you know, we don't know what they value. So like it's just about how many times I know like consciously I know every customer, every package, every time, the more that you pitch it, the more you're going to sell it, right? And like you said, 10% of people go for the bigger ones, but it's how many chances can you give yourself, right? For that. But what would you say with overcoming that block of perceiving other customers and like limiting yourself and limiting them on that because it's just like a lot of money and some people just we assume people can't.
Yeah, it's a good question, you know. I definitely pick and choose my battles, but I also have a commitment to like asking every single time. But I'll give you an example, right? If I get a 29-year-old couple, no kids, I started at the homemaker. They literally just can't afford it. They can't budget it. So I'm dropping down to 11-piece package. They still are like uncomfortable on the price, but they can make it work on the 5 pay. I do a turbo incentive and I close them on it. I'm not focused on upserving cookware when I know they can barely budget the 11-piece package, if that makes sense, right? Like I'll mention it, hey guys, between flatware, cookware, accessories, if you were to get something next, like what do you feel like would be the top priority? Oh, down the road for sure, cookware. Awesome. Like, is there anything you wanted to look at possibly adding today? Oh no, we're stretched thin with that's kind of the conversation, right? I'm talking about the whales, like the good customers that it's not the price that's getting them to like barely buy the ultimate. It's the value, it's the incentive that gets them to say yes. It's never a price thing. Those are people that you can't stop at the knives, right? It's really about building value in the next program or the next package, and seeing if they're open to like checking it out at the fair, right? Because if the deal's good enough, people go for it. People are buying $10,000 like jacuzzis, saunas, beds. Like you guys got to understand, like when they don't spend money with you, they're spending it somewhere else. And so when you have the right customer, it's knowing when to take advantage of the opportunity and like when the upserve is crucial. Like when you know, like not upserving this client is a big mistake. Like those are the ones you don't want to miss on. And that's where you don't want to let your mindset hinder you from a bigger opportunity, right? So I'm not saying that every client has the same potential to upserve. I'm saying you have to know when to see it, like when to find out and when to like understand it's in front of you. And then don't let your own mindset like limit your capacity, if that makes sense. So I think we're all pretty good about understanding that right now, like knowing when to go hard on the upserve and when not to. Um, but the biggest thing I would say is like your ability to just ask the question and get people open to looking is the number one thing. If you can just get really good to get people to like agree to see it and hear about it, you're doing it right. Doesn't mean they have to say yes at the end, but like getting people's permission to look at the next program is very important. That's what I found is it's already hard enough to get people to look at like a deal, right? But no one's going to say yes or no if they're not even seeing a deal. So for me, it's always my goal, whoever I'm working with, I just want them to be able to hear my pitch. And I know that the pitch will take care of itself. And obviously I'm good enough to like do incentives, share my goals, and try to close people. But half the battle really is like getting them to listen to whatever the approach is. All right, anyone else? All right. Well, a couple things. Let me stop the recording first.